Hey Tamers, how you guys doing? Today we're finally going to look at the blue cards that are coming in BT14. I did make a video on the red ones if you guys want to catch that one. Anyway, let's just jump right into it. And blue is getting another Pokemon. This one, your turn while your opponent has no Digimon with equal or more Digivolution cards than this Digimon gains jamming. Do you guys know how good this is going to be for blue? I'm telling you now, this is probably going to be the staple Digi-Egg for blue moving forward. Talk about, you're always stripping anyway, and then you're always going to have jamming. So this is going to be really good for Mirage. This is going to be obviously good for its own deck, but blue in general has kind of a low DP threshold. So the fact that you're able to get jamming if your opponent doesn't have a Digimon that has equal or more Digivolution cards than this Digimon, that's nuts, because Mirage, you're always bouncing, All Force, you're always bouncing, right? You're either bouncing, or think of Sora, you're always stripping stuff. So you're always more than likely going to have jamming. So I'm interested to know if this would probably change the Tamer lineup for Mirage Galgamon if you are using the Pokemon, but I don't know, only time will tell. Definitely we're going to pick up 2 to 3 sets of this Pokemon because he's going to be heavily played. Moving on to the rookies, first we got Odaman. Opponent's turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, trash the bottom 2 Digivolution cards of this Digimon. This is a really cool mechanic that's new, because now your opponent's going to think twice before they attack. Now, if you got X antibody underneath, which we'll talk about it, and it seems like stripping's coming back, especially with Tommy, right? X antibody is going to be very, very good to play just because you can strip it. And using this effect, if it's X antibody is there, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, you will not be able to trash X antibody, but then you can still trash the other card on top of that, right? So therefore you're only trashing one, and then the Pokemon basically, or any Digimon that says if they have no sources, you really can't bypass that or bounce stuff if you still have X antibody there. So that is why I think X antibody is gonna come back in a big way, especially going against blue. This is good again, because if you're attacking, let's say I'm attacking and I have Greymon, and if I strip 2, now I'm stripping a Greymon that I need to protect myself, you're gonna think twice of doing that. So this is very interesting. Very interesting. Up next, Goman. Start of your main phase, choose one Digivolution card under one of your opponent's Digimon and trash it. This Digimon can't be blocked for the turn. That's really cool, because you don't even have to attack for that to trigger, and then he can't be blocked. Combine that with the Pokemon, more than likely, often probably not, but possibility you could gain jamming, and then you can't be blocked. That's actually really nuts. Opponent's turn. When this Digimon would be deleted, you may play one Goman from under this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. That's actually pretty cool, because now you can kind of recycle this back out if it's in the source, and of course any other Goman you could play, which we do have some good ones. Up next, we're getting another Sayakomon. This one has evade, so it's kind of like the Jellymon that has evade. This one unfortunately doesn't have a inherit, so we'll see if you see some gameplay of this. The rookies with evade are pretty cool, because if you drop it, you can kind of, unless it gets bounced, it can be protected from deletion. So it's kind of a semi-guarantee that it'll be there if you want to move up to a champion or whatnot. It's good for Jellymon because you're able to warp using the, that's his hand effect. So that is why the evade is really good for the Jellymon. For this Sayakomon, I'm not too sure how good it's going to be. Next, we got Gesomon. That's pretty cool. I think we only got 1 copy of this, if I'm not mistaken. Cheap play cost, so that's good. When attacking, choose one Digivolution card under one of your opponent's Digimon and trash it. Then return one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon with no Digivolution cards to its owner's hand. Wow, that's pretty good. The reason I say that is because he can bounce something that's higher than himself. It is a cheap play cost, but I'm thinking you have the Goman in the breeding area with the Pokemon. You move up the Goman starting your main phase, you get to trash a source, and then it can't be blocked for the turn. So what that means, even when you Digivolve into anything else, you can't be blocked. So now you attack, hopefully having the jamming, or if you don't have jamming yet, your one attacking does go first, so you'll choose a Digivolution card, strip it, and now if there's a Digimon that has less sources than you gain jamming, and you can swing and return a level 5 or lower back to your opponent's hand. Wow, that's pretty cool. How often are we going to see gameplay with this? I am not too sure. And then there's no inherit, so there's also that. You would have to be mindful too, because he's only 4,000 DP, so if there's something in the breeding area on the back, next turn he's just gonna get popped. Unless you Digivolve on top of it after you attack. Up next, we got a Kuman. Overall, I mean, this is a pretty good drawing. It's underwater. He looks cool. When Digivolving, choose the 2 Digivolution cards under your opponent's Digimon and trash them. What's cool is that you can choose 2 different ones. It doesn't say 2 bottom or 2 top, so that's actually really nice. You can target that Greymon that gives protection. You can target anything that, you know, would protect itself or give blocker. That way, setting yourself up to attack. When attacking, once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon with a number of Digivolution cards less than or equal to this Digimon's Digivolution cards can't attack until the end of your opponent's turn. Again, how often would that be? It might be more often than you think because of the when Digivolving effect. So if you have a Mega, now a Mega you have, I mean, your standard Mega has in training, rookie, champion, ultimate. So you have 4 sources underneath. You strip 2. So now you'll have the same amount as a Kakuman will, because you have the rookie and the in training. So it's possible to hit a Mega with this one attacking effect, but more than likely, I mean, especially the only one that would kind of have a hard time against it would be a Greymon or any X Antibody deck that uses X Antibody and you Digivolve from its own level. Aside from that, this could be very, very good for other decks. This is going to be really good against like Bloomlord, because Bloomlord you spam, right? So your Digimon will always have jamming in this sense because they'll have a Digimon with no sources. When attacking once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon with a number Digivolution cards less than or equal to this Digimon's Digivolution cards can't attack until the end of your opponent's turn. That's cool. So that's a stun right there, so long as they have less Digivolution cards than you. Moving on to a new Kekan. This looks pretty cool. So if you don't know, they actually love to sing. I forgot where I saw that. So I'm rewatching Adventure 2 and finishing it because I never finished it. We got to the part where the Gekomans are out and you find out they love to sing. So there's that. Play cost of 5, 6,000 DP. Pretty up there for a champion. Opponent's turn once per turn. When an opponent's Digimon attacks, trash the bottom 2 Digivolution cards of that Digimon. So mind you have to have an ultimate, but if you stack that with the Odaman, now you're stripping 4 sources when they attack. Man, that's gonna be. I'm actually wanting to play that. Up next, we got Shellmon with Evade. Same thing as the Syakuman, 5 cost. So I guess if you were to drop this, if you leave your opponent at 2, if you're at 3, but then if they have a Memory Cell Tamer, it really doesn't matter. Point is, you could drop this and it has Evade. 6,000 DP. Up next, probably one of the most talked about cards of BT14 is this Pseudomon Ace. Play cost of 4 with the overflow of 3. Let me talk about overflow for a second. If you guys haven't seen, I do have a video up of how ace cards work. If you guys want to check that out, if you guys want to know more about, you know, ace cards, how they work in general. But with this one is as long as it leaves the battle area. So for example, let's say I use a Trident Arm against Zudomon. That card is leaving the play, right? The whole Digimon isn't, but it states here when this card is sent from the battle area or under your card to other places, lose 3 members. So you got to be really mindful of that. I think if it gets tucked under a Tamer, it's still fine because Tamers are still considered in the battle area. So Hunters, you know, if it removes it, puts it in the bottom of your Tamer, it's still in the battle area. Anyway, this is a hand counter Blast Digivolution. Of course, by now, I would assume most of you know how the Blast Digivolution works. But if you don't, basically when your opponent attacks, you can now Blast Digivolve your Digimon for free after your opponent's when attacking effects. On play, when Digivolving, trash 2 Digivolution cards from under your opponent's Digimon, then return one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards to the hand. That's how often can this come up? I'm gonna be honest, I am not too sure, but people are talking about putting this in All Force, and the regionals champion Shishi did talk about putting 1 or 2 in his build or testing them out first and seeing how it plays. So it's also interesting. Yeah, but this Pseudomon, you are definitely going to see some play in this one. You will want to pick up a few copies. I am just, for the life of me, having a brain fart of how effectively he would be used, but stripping sources and then returning something to the hand is just nuts for a play cost of 4. And then not to mention you're dropping an ultimate. Now next turn you just go into a mega. So really good. Up next we got a Marine Devimon. On play and when Digivolving, return all level 3 Digimon to their owner's hands. Interesting. This could be good against Shin Manzemon. Because Shin Manzemon, you want to, flood the board with level 3s. And then when you Digivolve into it, they all go to the security stack. So this could be a good counter to that. You'd have to be careful because it's also returning your own level 3s to your hand, which in a way, sometimes you might want that to activate their on-play abilities again. I don't think you'll see much gameplay of that Marine Devimon, but of course, you never know. He is a target for Aqua, so maybe in, what's his name, that level 7, I can't remember what's his name. Anyway, I'll put the card up there, but that deck, that level 7 aquatic deck, that could maybe be utilized in that. Moving on, we got the Shogun Geoman blocker all turns once per turn. When a Digivolution card of an opponent's Digimon is trashed, this Digimon can't be deleted in battle until the end of your opponent's turn. Okay, that's actually pretty cool because now you're giving it jamming, and then it's until the end of your opponent's turn. So now when you Digivolve into a Mega, he still has that pseudo jamming. So that's pretty cool. Not to mention you have blocker. So if we stack these Gekomons and the Otamamon, you block, you trash 4 for them attacking, and now you get jamming until the end of your opponent's next turn. Until the end of your opponent's turn. Actually, I don't even know if that would work for... No, because then when it's your turn, you won't get the jamming. But if you strip when it's your turn, then you get the jamming that way. Okay, yeah, so that's how that works. Also, that's actually really cool because I just thought about it. Because now you strip, and if it's a Mega, you're trashing all 4, you block, he doesn't get deleted. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Huh, that's interesting. And nothing is more frustrating than rewatching a YouTube video to see how many rookies, megas, or options were used in that deck profile that you want to build. When you join my membership, you will gain access to deck profile pictures of all my decks, including never before seen decks and of course future deck builds. Now, back to the video. Moving on to the Megas, we got a Plessimon. When Digivolving, trash 3 Digivolution cards from under your opponent's Digimon. It'd be nice if it's it or Tamer. When attacking once per turn, if your opponent does not have a Digimon with equal or more Digivolution cards, then this Digimon in play, unsuspend this Digimon. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now, that's actually very good. What makes it really good is this damn Bukamon here that's going to give them jamming. When you do trash, you're definitely going to have more sources in your opponent. So now you can swing twice with jamming, essentially. Or if you don't want it to get hit, you just swing, get jamming, you unsuspend because your opponent doesn't have a Digimon with equal or more Digivolution cards. And now you can restand and leave them unsuspended if you want to. So that's interesting. Again, I wonder if you'll see play in this one with, I can't remember that level 7's name for the life of me. Maybe not because it has one Digivolution, one Digivolving, and you need on-play effects for that one to be more effective. But never know, that one attacking is actually really nice. Up next, we got a Marine Angemon. Can Digivolve from a yellow and a blue. I actually love these new kind of designs they're going for these Digivolve things here. On play, when Digivolving, by returning one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon or one of your Digimon to its owner's hand, return one of your opponent's Digimon with a level less than or equal to the returned Digimon to their hand. So you could either return a level, basically 2 level 3s, or you return one of your own Digimon. So if you have like a level 5, now you can return one of their level 5s. Now here, I don't know if it would work that way where you return a Marine Angemon and then you just return a level 6. I am assuming it would work. Yeah, I'm not too sure. The only reason that I'm not too sure is because it's leaving play. So now if it left play, would it still see the effect through, or it's a pending effect? And it does work because, well, in order to do this, I'm returning this and now that gets returned. So I think it could work. I'm not too sure. Your turn once per turn. When another Digimon is returned to the hand, recovery +1. How much gameplay are you going to see from this? Honestly, probably not much. It's pretty cool, but they're still kind of shafting this mon. But I don't know. Maybe there's maybe you guys know of ways this could be utilized much more effectively than I could think of. Let me know down in the comments below. And now we're finally getting another Joe. On play, trash one Digivolution card from under your opponent's Digimon. Again, it would be so cool if you could trash from Tamers too. Your turn, when a card is trashed from under one of your opponent's Digimon, by suspending this Tamer, gain 1 memory. So this Joe is actually going to be very good. And of course it could stack. So now if you got 2, you tap them and you gain 2 memory. This is actually really nuts for this Gekomon line, because when your opponent attacks, they're trashing cards from their sources, and now they're losing memory too. Oh, never mind. It's only your turn. It won't work. It has to be during your turn. See, that's another shafting there. They could have just put all turns. That would have been so nice. Probably would have been busted actually with this Gekoman lineup. But only your turn. So scratch what I said. Only during your turn. So when you Digivolve into the Plessimon or you're able to strip with the Ikakuman, you'll tap and then you gain a memory. Up next, moving on to the option cards. Wave of Reliability. I don't know why they just couldn't leave it at Vulcan Tamer. Trash 2 Digivolution cards from under your opponent's Digimon. Then if you have a Tamer with Joe in its name, choose one of your Digimon. If your opponent does not have a Digimon with equal or more Digivolution cards in that Digimon, unsuspend that Digimon. So that's pretty cool because now you're stripping and then you're unsuspending. So essentially you could probably get 3 to maybe 4 hits with the Plessie if you have, you know, multiple of these and you have the memory to do it. Security effect, activate this card's main effect and add it to your hand. That's actually nuts. Guess it would work for like the Shogun, right? You block, or even after you block, second attack hits a wave of reliability. If you do have a Joe, then you're able to unsuspend the Shogun and now you are able to block again. So overall, it's a good card. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Last but not least, we're finally getting a Marching Fishes, and besides this damn sample text, that this I love this art. It's so cute. Choose one of your Digimon. 3 of your opponent's Digimon with equal or fewer Digivolution cards in the chosen Digimon can't attack or block until the end of your opponent's turn. That's nuts. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Wow. Security effect. One of your opponent's Digimon can't attack for the turn. Then add this card to its owner's hand. I really like this. I see this being played against like Bloomlord, right? Again, when it's, or any deck that's a wide board, because now, you know, you target your Mega, which is most likely not going to have any more sources. Again, unless you're playing against the X Anybody deck with 1 stack, and you can strip, but you can't strip the X Anybody. It'll be kind of a, I don't want to say uphill battle, but it'll kind of be a little more difficult to get the effects of what these cards are going for, where you have to have less than or equal to your own sources. Nonetheless, being able to stun and then it goes to your hand for the security effect is really good. You're definitely going to see gameplay of this one. That is it for the BT14 blue cards that we're getting, and overall blue's eating, man. These are some good cards that are coming out for blue, and you're going to see gameplay for blue for sure. What do you guys think? How good are these cards? Anything I missed talking about, let me know down in the comments below. I will be finishing off the rest of the colors, so make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you guys on the next video.